Their playing will send sparks flying. Their voices full of strength and sorrow. Meet the Troubadores, masters of the Portuguese tradition called Fado. Discover music that will set your emotions free and offer you a window into the soul of a people. Coming up on Rhythm and Roots. We met with Troubadores de Fado at El Pastor restaurant in the Ironbound section of Newark, New Jersey. Tony, the group's founder, has led the house band at El Pastor for 8 years, where every Friday and Saturday they play traditional Portuguese music. Tony describes his experience. So how did this group, this ensemble, Troubadores de Fado, come about?
Well, there are a lot of Portuguese musicians here in the United States, but they're playing it more high-tech, more commercial, popular music, both Portuguese and English word music, American music. But I decided to find a little niche of playing, kicking it back into the Fado folklore. There was a lot of talent here that actually had very, strong careers in Portugal, but because of the economy and the reality that we deal with, they are now living here.
Michael, the youngest member of the group, proves that traditional music is not just for the older generation. He picked up the viola as a teen and became the apprentice of Alberto Rezendes, master of the Portuguese guitarra. How did you get involved with this group, Troubadores de Fado?
Well, I was always into Portuguese music, and I really liked Portuguese folklore. And finally, when I was 14, I went to my first Fado night, and I met Albert Rezende. And then through Tony and playing here at El Pastor, we just developed a really good camaraderie between us musically. When I first met him, I asked him if he gave lessons and how much it would be. And he told me we would do half-an-hour lessons once a week, and it would be $25. And I went to his house, and our first lesson that was supposed to be a half-an-hour lesson became a 3.5-hour lesson. And whenever I'm with him, I'm a sponge. I try to drain whatever I can from him.
Alberto began playing folk songs on viola as a child growing up in the Portuguese islands of the Azores. Once in America, he discovered the Portuguese guitarra, a 12-string guitar, and the principal instrument in Fado. Alberto also makes string instruments and is the only manufacturer of the Portuguese guitarra in the United States. And so when did you start playing the Portuguese guitar?
You have to like the instrument and the sound in order to get involved with it. Okay. And I started getting involved when I was practically in my 20s. That's when I mostly
started getting serious about it?
Getting very serious about that.
Troubadores de Fado was brought together by a common love for the music and culture of Portugal and the desire to share the heritage with the world. Weaving together regional folk songs from rural Portugal and the national music of Fado, the ensemble features some of the best Portuguese musicians in America. So Troubadores de Fado, you mentioned earlier what the name means. So explain for our audience what exactly that means.
Troubadour will be like someone, like a minstrel, a musician that travels from town to town. You go from this village, you'll hear what's going on, you go to the next village, and you relay it to those people playing it. And so Troubadores is basically the same thing. We're now living in Portugal. Right. We're performing Portugal's music, so we are troubadours in that sense.
Corina has been a fadista, a fado singer, for most of her life. She began singing folk music but was quickly drawn into the intensity of emotion displayed in fado. After a successful career in Portugal as a recording artist and worldwide recognition, Corina retired to the United States to help her daughter raise her grandchild.
Every Portuguese, I like the fado and the tourada. Okay, I like the fado. This is why I cant the fado.
What does fado mean to you? You started off doing folklore and started doing fado. So what does fado music mean to you?
This is, I don't know in English, mas this is the estado da alma. Okay. Fado is like country music. This is like this.
So soul music.
Yes.
Soul music. Jorge Quaresma is also a successful recording artist in Portugal, where he got his start singing Portuguese folk. The deep currents of fado music and the importance placed on vocal style and delivery attracted Jorge to the genre. We talked to Jorge about the true essence of fado. Take a listen. O sentido do fado, o espírito do fado, o que é?
O fado...
The spirit of fado, what is the spirit of fado?
Para o fado é preciso uma inspiração, ter um dom, sentimento, sei lá, sofrimento, saudade. Acho que o fado é a expressão máxima do povo português. Porque nós, o povo português, somos muito sofrido. O povo português é sentimental, saudade.
Quem por amor se perdeu, para poder tornar santa. Quem por amor se perdeu, Jesus só nos quis mostrar que o amor não se condena. Jesus só nos quis mostrar que o amor não se condena.
So the theme of the ocean is very important in fado. Explain to us about this. O tema do mar é muito importante.
O mar acho que era uma coisa, era um mistério que ninguém sabia o que é. Quando os portugueses começaram, os navegantes que quiseram partir com as suas caravelas, bem, não é?
Tem a rosa marinha na rua do Capão, parece que canto aquela que mais amor e Maria Madalena.
Fado music first appeared in the 19th century in the city of Lisbon, with sailors singing about the hardships of life on the sea. Played with guitars and a vocalist, fados express saudade, a non-translatable word that represents nostalgia, yearning, and missing. A blend of Arabic, African, Iberian, and Gypsy elements, it is a custom for the audience to remain in complete silence during a performance. Fado was elevated into a national symbol in the 20th century, largely due to the immense popularity of the late great fadista Amália Rodrigues. So Tony, if you'd be kind enough to explain to us about the genre of fado and the different styles and what makes the music fado.
Everybody has a different translation. My translation, it's romantic blues. It's bluesy, but with more of a love, romance twist. I loved her, but she left. Yes, that is in fado. But, you know, but then Fado may say, but I'm better off without her at the end. Okay, that's just like a little sampling of what a Fado lyric may be. But what most attracted me to Fado was the ambiance it creates.
Tenho por meu desespero dentro de mim
the only indigenous music that Portugal has is Fado. Everything else is, all the young kids want to be rock and rollers. They're just like anywhere else in the world, they're imitating Chuck Berry and taking it from there. But if you want to talk about authentic Portuguese music, to me that's Fado.
Se eu soubesse, ai se eu soubesse que morrendo tu me havias de chorar por uma lágrima.
We know that in Fado, the ultimate compliment in Fado is to have somebody cry. Can you tell us, have any stories like that ever happened with you?
Yes. The best thing that could possibly happen during a Fado session is for the audience to be silent. But, and when that happens, and if the fadista is having a good day, people will cry, people will stand up and erupt into loud applause at the end of the Fado.
Na festa namoraria, é dia da procissão da Senhora da Saúde.
What a beautiful instrument you have there.
Thank you. This was actually made by my mentor, Senhora Zen.
So can you play a little something for us?
Sure.
And let us know what you're going to play.
Okay, well, first I'll just show you some traditional accompaniments of Fado. So the first one that's really traditional is called a marcha, which is a march, and it would just basically go. Something like that. Then we have the same thing, but it's just a little faster, and it's called a corrido, and it would go. And then we have the minor, which are the traditional three. And from that is where basically Fado started, and then it went on for people to have specific songs made for them, and then there's a bunch of songs. This is a specific song about Coimbra. Thank you.
Very nice. Troubadores do Fado are truly living up to an impressive heritage. Created on American soil with roots deep in Portugal, the group gives its listeners an opportunity to experience authentic Portuguese music. Like the ships that long ago left the shores of Lisbon to explore the world, Troubadores do Fado intend to share their culture with the world.
Sou bailado, sou cantado, sou bem de toda maneira. Aqui para a minha terra, ando doce na vareira. Sou bailado, sou bem de toda maneira, aqui para a minha terra, ando doce na vareira. Sou bailado, sou cantado, sou bem de toda maneira, aqui para a minha terra.